Here's Joe Franklin.
Charlie, this brand new book is written by David Pollock. It's called Bob and Ray, Keener Than Most Persons, and our guest is Bob Elliot, half of that legendary team of Bob and Ray on radio, on TV. In a stellar career, they influenced Johnny Carson, David Letterman, Jay Leno, George Carlin, to name only a few. They counted the great Kurt Vonnegut among their admirers. For 40 years, they livened up the airways with fly humor, attracting loyal advertisers and millions of faithful listeners. And we proudly are joined by broadcasting legend Bob Elliot. Bob, how you feeling?
Hey, Joe, I'm doing fine, and it's great to hear from you. We're really still excited about David's book. We're getting good reports, and a lot of people are hearing about us for the first time, and a good many for the 50th.
Well, I know his work. He's written for so many, almost every big TV show, even Jack Benny, right? He goes way back, David Pollock, right?
Yeah, and Carol Burnett and MASH and
Steve Allen.
Cheers and
everybody.
But he was pretty serious with Bob and Ray. He worked on this book for some 5 years doing research.
How did Bob and Ray meet and team up? That's number one.
Well, we were radio announcers back in the day when that was the prime job to get when you were in high school or just out. And I started in Boston. Ray started in Lowell, and we met after World War II, which we both took part in.
Bob, I want to ask you, Bob, why did you get the top billing? Why Bob and Ray instead of Ray and Bob?
Well, I would have found that we had a show called Matinee with Bob and Ray.
Yeah.
We were in a rhyming mood in those days, and it would have sounded kind of dumb to be, it would have been Matinob with Ray and Bob.
That would have been terrible, huh? What was there about the chemistry between you and Ray? How were you able to improvise hours upon hours of unscripted comedy together, all those
things? Of course, we did have scripts. We started out having to provide material that we came up with ourselves, but when we got all those hours on the network and local stations in New York, we had to have help. But we just like to observe things going on in our workplace, and there are a lot of funny things if you look at things the same way as Ray and I did, and there are a lot of things in a radio station that command an observation.
I want the world to know so many broadcasters, including yours truly, grew up worshiping Bob and Ray. Mr. Elliot, what about Wally Ballou, reporter extraordinaire? What about Wally Ballou?
Wally always came on with an upcut, which, this is the engineer, Wally Ballou speaking. He came on with, made enemies out of engineers all over the country.
He was great.
He was our on-the-spot reporter, and usually had his back to the event going on and described the building that he was looking at.
How do you create Steve Bosco, the oft-inebriated sports reporter?
Steve, well, he was in the part. He was based on sportscasters that we listened to, and they did the spring games in Boston. They did the Florida games of the Red Sox, and we used to listen to that, and we decided we should have a reporter go and cover it for us. So we sent Steve Bosco, and he always signed off with he's staying at the most expensive hotel in Florida.
I liked your Broadway show called Bob and Ray on Broadway. What was the exact title of that show, Bob and Ray?
Two and Only.
Oh, that was a great show.
Bob and Ray, the Two and Only. And we got tremendous reviews. We had to be talked into it over a period of about 3 years by the producers, Joe Levine and his wife, Jonna. And we finally did. We were in between radio stints, and we said, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll run a few weeks, and or else we'll change it.
Ran forever.
Change it every night. And it was so well received that we stuck pretty near line for line every night for 2 or 3 years.
Critics played
Not on Broadway. We were on Broadway about 6 months, and then we traveled.
That was a great job. Critics put you in the pantheon of American humor alongside Mark Twain, Will Rogers, S.J. Perlman. What's been the greatest honor ever accorded to Bob and Ray out of the many?
The greatest...
honor, the one you're proudest of.
Honor? Well, I think it's the audience that stuck with us. You'd be surprised, and I'm sure you get the same kind of mail from people who've followed the whole career, and it just was, they're just happy that they find that they can still hear it in some places. And of course, we did get 3 Peabody Awards, which are the best you can get in radio.
Bob Elliot speaking with Joe Franklin.